So let's get our losers match started. First one up, we have Xellos, our Terran, with CJ. He ended up losing his game versus Jangbi. And his opponent Hwasin, Terran from STX Seoul, he ended up losing to Firebet here on that nice Katrina game. So TVT, the map again will be Blue Storm, just like the winners match. Fighting. So our yellow opponent in the bottom left, it's going to be Hwasin. And our teal opponent is going to be Xellos in the top right. So I see an early SCV moving out. This is quite early basic, so I wonder what he's planning to do. I wonder if it's going to be something like a BBS. This map, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was popular for these kind of strats at one point. I'm gonna wait just to see what the SCV is doing before trying to call it, but I believe that's what he might be going for. Or it could be like a proxy right into the base of Hwasin. So he should be able to get him before he moves out to make the depot. And it looks like he's making the depot right in the bottom as well. So I'm waiting just to see. It looks like we see another SCV moving out, so it's gonna be the first barracks. Yeah. Looks like it will be the BBS basically, barracks supply, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and that was a fantastic scout by Hwasin. That was fantastic. Xellos must be extremely displeased to see that, because getting the two, oh, and that SCV is gonna get sniped as well. Wow. So not only did he snipe the SCV, the barracks is delayed. Now it is halfway down, so it's not over just yet, but this is an extremely advantageous situation for Hwasin, because he scouted what's coming in, and this strategy does affect the economy of Xellos quite badly, because you can see his racks is still halfway down, his SCV count still rather sparse, and he's had to even cancel the racks as a result and rebuild in his main, so he's definitely behind at this point. We do see the gas going up for Hwasin, so he's definitely in a great position right now. He more than likely would just get a vulture ASAP from my perspective, because keep in mind the fact is going to be extremely delayed for Xellos, especially with the fact that he has to cancel his racks. So after that, I'm expecting a quick like a factory ASAP as soon as the 100 gas is in. Of course, Xellos doesn't know about this because he is scouting around. So it's more than likely that he's going to have once his own racks is done, he's more likely going to get the factory ASAP. So factory up for Xellos. And is it a second SCV, or is it a Marine moving behind the SCV there? I see something moving. I see two units coming out. So is that two Marines? So maybe what Hwasin is looking to do is to go with a 1 SCV, 2 Marine aggression. Because there you go, there is a Marine there. I believe that's a second Marine behind as well. Now this SCV will die soon. I believe it's 1 hit away, if I'm not mistaken. But the Marine is not looking too great either. Yeah, it looks like it's about 1 hit away. So it's a 2v2 at this point with the SV as a buffer. And the racks is done at this point for Xellos. So the Marines will be pushed back. Or sorry, the factory is done. There is a starport coming in. Would you see the first vulture out from Hwasin? And we can see only again one on the gas, but we do see straight away the machine shop afterwards. And the CC first from Hwasin. So Hwasin is definitely in a nice position. And it looks like he's going to intercept those two, but this is a bad situation at this point in time for Hwasin, because he does not want to lose that first vulture, and looks like he's going to lose it without doing much damage. Because you can see the Marines survived, the vultures are about a little less than halfway done, or halfway for health-wise. But would this be potentially some kind of, either it's going to be a Wraith follow-up, or could be like a vulture drop, but I mean he doesn't have much vulture, so I'm going to go with the Wrath at this point. Yeah, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. Cloak is coming in. The CC is earlier than Xellos' CC. And looks like Hwasin's gonna see the timing of the CC, so at least he'll have an idea what he's playing with. We do see the second factory though from Xellos. Now, one thing I'm interested in is, did we see the armory is still on the earlier side? So these Wraith could do more damage, but I'm wondering if he's going to go in with the 1, or he's gonna mash up 2 to 3 before moving in. I would love to see the mashing getting up 2 to 3 at a time, because they'll do more damage, and you know, Wraith are called paper planes for a reason. Because even Marines straight up, a couple Marines can beat one, because they do such low air to ground damage. So it looks like he will wait for a couple more. And this also allows his energy to bank up as well, so when he does go cloak, he'll have a better situation. He does have 2 tanks on the high ground with 2 Marines, not bad, and he gets the depot to block. Keep in mind, because of the choke, vultures can make it through to get to the expansion, so he's safe from those vultures rumbles, except from the either a drop or from the high ground. Now, I did believe I saw quite a bit of vultures. Oh, so the vultures will see this Wraith coming in, but Hwasin should have more than enough to defend back at home. But I believe mines should be ready, so I believe he's gonna try and just lay some mines. But 3 tanks is more than enough here, and with no AA, these Wraiths are gonna have a field day here. And it looks like he's not making any more. The idea is that he's just gonna try and keep nibbling away at the SCV's HPs. And we see the armies. You can see the army is not even ready yet, and the Rax is far away as well. So these three are still gonna keep trying to deny that armory, and they're gonna do a lot of damage. That's already 3 SCVs down. There's like a 4th one going down as well. All Xellos can do is basically just try and see if he can get the army done by just sacrificing worker after worker. That's the 4th. That's gonna be the 5th SCV down soon. And you can see the army has still not finished yet. It's extremely close. There is quite a bit of vultures though, but we do see 4 tanks. And the question is he has to pull back the tanks, or at least, oh wow, okay. Wow. So this was a fantastic win for Xellos, but there is quite a bit of tanks left, and there is fantastic targeting with the mines. So Hwasin is doing fantastically there. So Goliath should be out very shortly. But these three have already done a great job. I'm seeing 4, I'm seeing what looks like 11 kills. And because of the fact that he has the port, this does mean that he can go for a follow-up drop if he would like to, basically. It does give him the option. In the meantime, Xellos is in a bad position. And he's just building his comp sets now as well, so he knows that that cloak must be done on this Wraith. So he's more than likely gonna wait for the Goliath. And once the comp set is ready, so he's gonna have to cloak. He has to cloak. Oh, so maybe okay. So he does have cloak. It's just he waits to the last minute. So at this point in time, again, the Wraith have done a fantastic job for Hwasin. Hwasin is in a fantastic position overall. He's gonna have more facts, going up to 6 overall. Compared to the 4 for that, and that's only 2 coming in now, basically. So I think what this is going to set up is Hwasin's going to set up for a huge push. Probably in the next couple of minutes, going to have a huge army push with a large vulture tank and use the Goliaths to get, or use the Wraith just to get the some vision. Because again, two factories, most of his units are just vultures and Goliath, which will die extremely easily to a bigger army with a lot of tanks for support. And this is something that I absolutely love. I love to see players repair their units, because the units, even though you are still paying for the cost, they will help you in the long run. Would you see the third CC for Hwasin in the top? Would you see quite army? He's slowly building up his army as well. Both players are still 0-0, but +1, if I'm not mistaken, is being researched for Xellos. He doesn't want to lose on the upgrade war. So there is quite a bit of units here for Hwasin. So from my perspective, he can definitely push up and break this, especially if he gets a couple of nice mines. But the question is he going to do it, and does Xellos realize it? And it looks like he's going to move in just at the right time with those are fantastic mines as well. So that's going to be at least, wow, that was a huge mine. Oh, and then he's going to get the other tanks as well. So you can see it's overwhelming in... It was a fantastic engagement for Hwasin. He takes more of an advantage, and he's going to get these 2 tanks for almost free as well. And he still has the Vulture advantage as well. So you can see at this point in time, Xellos' army extremely low. If Hwasin makes a push right now to the expansion, he will definitely take this game, or do enough damage to guarantee with his victory. So economically, he's in an advantage. Army-wise, he is in an advantage as well. And there is just going to come to do a bit more damage just to pay more for themselves. They've already done quite a bit. There's 10 on that one, and there's what, 6? It's hard to see. Or 8? There's almost about 15 plus kills on both. That's a lot of damage basically. And what this means is that Xellos has to now invest into some AA just to at least shoo them away and use comset energy, which is important for giving him an idea of what his opponent is doing, especially as you get later in the game. So basically what this means is that Hwasin is moving further and further ahead in this game. 10 kills and 10 kills, 20 kills together. And you can see even the commentators are really interested to see this, how much damage. The other plus is that these rays can also scatter around, or they can go from one location to another. But it looks like Hwasin is only doing this as a bait, so he's actually going for another frontal push. And you can see the tank count is extremely low. Like this, he's gonna lose his tanks again basically. So it's gonna put Hwasin even further ahead. And the rays are still doing a lot of damage in the main as well. I expect Xellos to GG probably sooner than later at this point in time. He might try to put up a last stand because he can still do quite a bit with his tanks in siege mode in terms of defense. But economically, he's in an extremely bad position. His army is extremely small. And the question is, does Hwasin realize this? Because he can just do a couple scans, just move across the map and siege that expansion right outside the choke. But at the same time, the Wraith are still doing a lot of damage in his base as well. So he has to respect those and make some units. And we do see the 4cc going up at 12 o'clock for Hwasin. Just get further ahead. Now we haven't seen upgrades, or haven't been paying upgrades as much for a while. I would love to see what the upgrades are for the units for both players. And the Wraith are still continuing their good work. 21 and 16 kills, 38 kills at this point. You can see just how sparse the mineral SCV count is. That's oh, and we see the drops as well. So this is probably going to seal the deal, because he's going to have some tanks to siege the units there. He's going to deny the gas. So this might be the final blow. And the question is, how does Xellos even defend this? He doesn't have an army to defend this, and whatever army he has left is out of position. His gas has been denied. His main is he doesn't have anything mining in his main. His XP is gone as well. It's unfortunate, but it looks like, or it's unfortunate for Xellos fans, but it looks like Hwasin will be taking this first game, or will be taking this game, and thus will be eliminated. And just the classic drop tanks on top. And with the factories also sieged up as well. Now it looks like Xellos is going to one final push, but all this is not going to do anything. It's more just to see what he can do. He will kill some of the tanks, but it's, again, this is not really going to do anything basically. GG. So well played by Hwasin to scout that racks in his base, the proxy, and then essentially from there he just held on to the game, played extremely well with the Wraith follow-up and his defense with the tanks at the high ground, and then just took the game. So Hwasin will be advancing to the finals to play against Firebat Hero for a rematch to see who advanced to the RO16. Xellos is unfortunately out.